After all the build-up for one of the most anticipated games of this season, it's turned out to be
a damn
one-sided affair with the Chennai Super Kings coming out as the winners, a team that was supported by less people in the Sports Today dugout. 2 versus 3. Actually, 1 versus
4.
1 versus, technically 1 versus 4.
3.
Manish is wearing yellow, but inside he's not yellow. He's a yellow hater.
Inside I'm red, dear.
RCB. He is. He said it.
I thought red. Livid with anger. Inside of red.
RCB. This season he's picked RCB to win every.
No.
Because there's
wrong.
Last game actually he didn't. He finally reverted to type.
That's because we badgered him so much. Saying
No.
RCB.
It is practical. See, it was practically RR had done what they had to do, and in the MI-RCB game,
Siddharth practical.
you don't talk about practicality. You a Delhi Capitals fan can't talk about practicality.
Thrice you backed them.
And one they won.
Defeating your own logic thrice on this show.
So I backed them
And
once
didn't
and they
even have
won.
them in the top 4.
I didn't keep them because I knew that they will go
This is
from bad to worse.
back them.
Achha, why did you back CSK today? Since you're not a CSK fan, practicality.
Yeah.
This is also breaking news. So that's not a CSK fan. What's happening on this show?
No, we know for a fact he's not a CSK fan because his team is just won and he's having a fight with Harshal. I'd be celebrating.
Yeah.
He's still angry because
But he's not a fan. He has accepted today that he's no more a CSK fan.
I mean,
he was never a Dhoni fan.
Yeah.
But that too we knew.
He said we made him. We portrayed him as a CSK fan. Despite the fact that there were times where he danced on his own, so happy, would come and say, "Yeah."
There were people shedding tears of joy. That you are not counting upon it.
Who should tears of
There
joy?
was a viral video that went in the final where a girl absolutely. Yeah. Where a girl absolutely lost it in the final. Yeah, she was crying. She was like in Ahmedabad.
I thought he was crying.
No.
When that happened?
No. There was one more in our app team who went absolutely much more viral than I went. It was Neeraj. Neeraj was celebrating as if there was no tomorrow.
Celebrating for?
CSK's victory.
So at least
he's a fan.
So he
I
accepts
respect
that
him.
he's a CSK fan. He
No, he accepts he's a Dhoni fan.
He's a Dhoni fan.
Like Abhijit.
Yeah.
But by extension, they become CSK.
Correct.
Fan, but in Siddharth's case, neither is he a Dhoni fan nor a CSK.
Today we'll devote that. See, suddenly coming out to bat. We'll devote on
We'll get to that. There are plenty of talking points, by
Yeah.
the way. We'll get to Dhoni, favorite subject of
Sports Today.
Siddharth again. But before that, I want you to decipher a mystery, the mystery of the pitch. Because what did we do? Spent about 20 minutes of our 30 minutes in the preview show talking about all the stats. Harshit came up with what is the average score, 186, fast bowlers is going to be helpful, this, that, whatever, and which is fact because he just stated data which is there.
No
which everyone
CSK spinner in the 2 matches that they played here, CSK spinners didn't have a single wicket.
Exactly.
Those 13 wickets were picked by pace bowlers.
No, I agree. Those were data and he only said that, and it turned out to be exactly the opposite. And by the way, sometime you go with history that can change because the pitch changes. Secondly, you don't go by overall history because every season the pitch can change. So you only stick yourself to data from that season. So you took out data from just this season. Even that suggested it will be very good. What's worse, that before the match started, all the former cricketers, experts, captains, coaches, everyone who saw the pitch also thought it was a good batting pitch, all of that put together. Yet, it didn't quite turn out to be that way. I'm not blaming Kolkata's batting so much. I think there was a lot of help, and contrary to what had been said that it will help fast bowlers, it actually helped spinners. There was a big difference, if you notice, between first innings and second innings. Average degree of turn first innings about 2.2 degree vis-a-vis 1.5 degree in the next inning. So the help that the spinners were getting was also exponentially more when they were bowling first. So all in all, it wasn't an easy pitch to bat on, especially against the spinners, because you saw with Kolkata, when they batted, those first 5 overs were always good because hard new ball, you could play very well. As soon as the spinners came, and I think that was a turning point, that over that Jadeja bowled, picks up 2 wickets, the game just completely turns, and from there on, spinners are very tough to handle. So what happened? Either this was a bluff by CSK, like build it up like that, and when KKR come, catch them, or it's just slowly the heat is coming and slowly this is how the typical CSK pitch will.
Could be both, because I remember last season also there were times when the pitch would oscillate.
First two matches, just picked my phone up to pull out those numbers only because first two matches last year as well, I remember we were all discussing exactly the same thing and then the story started to flip. So I'll just, while you make your point, I'll pull out those numbers as well.
So the thing was that we expected, again, batting friendly, and it's reached such a point, by the way, that Graham Swan, who was on commentary and who did the pitch report, apologized on commentary saying, lads, I think I sold you down the river on this one. My apologies. So even he didn't get it right, because his reading was it's a hard pitch. It doesn't have much of a grass covering, but it's very hard, will not break up, should have good bounce, plenty of runs. To be quite the contrary, he read it spectacularly wrong.
And I think it was a good toss to win for CSK, because Shreyas also said on toss that we would have bowled first as well. So they were expecting that kind of...
I think the main reason for that would have been dew, because I think another thing that did not help the KKR spinners, and that's natural, is that the dew factor kicked in early on. See how Sunil bowled in his first over vis-a-vis subsequently. First over, he was clearly getting no grip. And Daryl Mitchell took full advantage. And again, not blaming conditions. You play the conditions you get. CSK were the better team on the day. But definitely also got the best of the conditions in the sense that they got to put in the opposition. They had to figure out what the hell the track was playing like. And then when you came out, you were chasing what was an under par total. If you had 150, 60 also, you could have potentially made a game out of this, because it would need a little bit of risk taking here and there. Here, whatever risk taking they were doing was bonus, because they knew that they were chasing an under par total. So 1 or 2 good overs and your run rate was going to be touching 6, which is exactly what happened.
True.
And the second inning bait, sometimes you have dew, but it doesn't have so much of an impact. But the stat that I mentioned, 2.2 degree turn in the first inning vis-a-vis 1.5 in the second, it's not down to the quality of spinners. It is predominantly because of the dew. So if you flip the bowlers around and you allow the Kolkata spinners to be bowling first half and Chennai spinners second half, the Kolkata spinners would have got that extra turn. And again, that's part of the game. So no, sort of an excuse.
No complaints.
Yeah, but there was a big difference in terms of the turn that the team was getting. Yes.
In fact, those numbers are here. So last year as well, interestingly, first game you saw 217 from CSK, ended up being the winning total, but the other team as well on the day scored 205 runs. So that's the first match that we saw at Chepauk. The second
2023
match, 2023, 175 runs being scored by RR, CSK scoring 172. So that game as well, 173 score was your average total. Third game then, as the case today, 134 was the first innings total. CSK won that match scoring 138. So there are parallels there.
That's spooky similarities.
Yeah.
It's exactly how the last season went
The
up.
alarming draw.
But if this is anything to go by, fourth match again you had a 200 run total.
We'll have to wait and see.
So they are switching pitches, and the pitches have very different characteristics.
200, I
Let's
think
go
it
to
was
fifth
against
match.
Punjab, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this smart gamesmanship by Chennai? Local man will tell us. You're not a CSK fan, but you know local knowledge of Chennai. Are they, making... this is also an art. And since, they also run the TNCA.
Yeah.
They are getting the groundsmen to make pitches which can fool experts. Even Graham Swan, who's a spinner himself, look like the 200 pitch, and then you see 2 matches where 200 has happened and suddenly give this pitch is happening.
I mean, see, it's happened in 2023. I think the 200 that you spoke about after the 134, I think was against Punjab Kings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But that was a day game. I don't think are CSK playing a day game after this, because now they are going to Chepauk. They are going to Mumbai after this. So
No idea.
That is why, see, they can
What is
prepare.
that? That period has come. What is that called?
Mid-season slump. It's inconsistent.
No.
Agni Nakshatram.
What?
Agni Nakshatram is not now.
No, what is that?
Notapa.
Notapa. That's end of April.
Notapa.
That's what I'm asking.
That's end of April. It's not.
So what happens in Notapa?
Extreme heat, pitches get even slower, and good luck in trying to figure out.
So you're saying from May onwards?
Yeah, April end to May, you will get pitches which will produce around 140 to 160 in that range.
By the way, you were telling me now, when was the match? I told you I covered a test match, impossible. I
Sri
think
Lanka.
somebody was talking about ODI game also in commentary, I forgot who. And we were talking about the Chennai Heat, and I forget who the commentator was, I may have missed it. Spoke about playing an ODI game in the summer. It's unbearable. And I can
Yes.
totally
understand.
Totally.
It is.
It's impossible to play there.
I
Impossible.
mean,
Conditions are not even better in the evening.
no way.
No, but this, no,
it get cooler or
no.
some
Cooler,
sort of-
yes, slightly because there will be
breeze, the
some
marina
breeze
breeze.
from the marina. But I think he played a day game. If I'm
Day
not
game,
mistaken.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, could have
must have been in the early 2000s.
been. Yeah, I think so.
Oh God.
It's crazy.
How? And that time, that Chennai stadium was like a concrete crucible. It was closed
Yeah, those
from
old
all
stands,
sides. And there would be a stench emanating from the Kuvam at around 3 or 4 because there'd be the breeze. And combined with the heat and humidity, thank God. It
Who was
was,
a sewer?
yeah.
Your assessment of the pitch.
I mean,
what did
the-
they do? Swapped it, smartly did it.
Smartly did it.
He's accepting it.
It is smartly done. I mean,
Since you know the CSK management also, na, you have relations with them.
I have relations
So
and
did you pick up the phone? So you know them very well.
I know them well. Especially the former boss who's currently on the sidelines. Good family friend.
He's currently on the sideline.
Yeah, he's not well, no?
But he's still the boss.
Of course he is, but
Top dog.
Top dog.
he is the
Not being sidelined.
I can't be sideline.
He's not side, but
He's not
he's
Rohit
not
Sharma.
active. He's not active in
He
this.
may be pulling this.
Not the former captain.
Yeah, but he's not well.
I know.
That we know.
That's why they managed to pull out something. The rabbit out of the hat came from the pitch. It wasn't the bowlers, it wasn't the batting, it was the rabbit out of the pitch.
And actually, I dare say this tactic worked very well because CSK did win the toss.
Yes.
Because again, if KKR win the toss 110%, they're putting them in, then this tactic isn't as effective because A, they get the better of the spinning conditions with at least 2 spinners. In fact, if you wanted, you could have actually impact subbed in Anukul early on and no one would have been any the wiser, knowing full well that you could have gone for that. And then you'd have got the better batting conditions.
Actually, they wouldn't have, because initially when we spoke, they weren't going to get Anukul.
Yeah.
I think because they bowled second, they realized, and especially with the CSK spinners doing rather well.
Finger spinners,
So
particularly.
that's why they kept that option that they'll bring in Anukul. Otherwise, they're going with a pacer.
I think a pacer, or if they wanted another spinner, maybe Suyash.
Suyash.
But then
No,
Anukul.
but I think they would go for a pacer if it was that
Yeah, of
typical,
course, of
typical
course.
chip up.
Of course.
But
Then
even
of course Shakib
Anukul
Hassan.
over Suyash because at that point the situation was so desperate they needed some runs as well, which
Batter,
comes as a
yeah, right, he needed a batter.
guarantee more with Anukul than with Suyash.
True. Okay, now to the.
Elephant in the room?
Okay, what is the elephant in the room?
Isn't the elephant in the room?
What is the elephant?
What is the elephant in the room? The fact that KKR's losing streak, winning streak is ended, or
No, let him
let him
tell us.
please,
A certain number 7.
Why is he the elephant in the room?
because he's Thala for a reason.
Salah for a reason. And okay, how many runs? 3 runs were needed. He comes out to bat.
Then he's sauntering out to Bole jo koyal bago mein.
Yes, indeed.
Is the strike rate in
Strike
question?
rate?
Strike rate
Or
in
you're
question?
imagining
Strike
that
rate of
dance.
33.3.
Yeah, but who cares about strike rate then?
But
yeah?
first he
No.
wants to go.
You have to add one more factor in MS Dhoni. The decibel factor. Decibels were 150 decibels today. Arams.
That is his strike rate.
Yeah, that is the strike rate.
Achha, so why is that the elephant in the room?
I mean, again, it only validates my point. Not much of pressure. Game is won. He will do Dhoni things. He will promote himself up the order. He will hit 37 of 16.
But that he does in a pressure situation in a World Cup final also, no?
On an absolute road of a batting track. Let's
No,
not
but
forget.
Cup
it's still
final has
pressure
its own
situation
pressure, yeah.
nonetheless, Shane.
Still, come on.
13 years back, Dhoni, whatever he did, touched to gold. Now this is looking kind of, nahi yaar.
This is the Dhoni farewell tour.
In the words of Silly
But
Point.
I'm saying for a man who's made it absolutely clear for about 300 days now that he wants to come back because he wants to give a fitting farewell to these crowds who've been lining up year after year. What's bad when the man matches one? What's the harm in him walking out just to please them, give them the visual treat that they're actually there for?
Okay. So in the words of Silly Point, he called me a glory hunter. That was in a negative connotation, isn't it?
There's no positive glory hunter, I assure you.
I tell you. But in this
Nothing
case,
positive in that.
Harshit is portraying the thing as if it is a very good thing.
What is the harm? I'm saying, is net run rate in question right now? Would 2 balls have really made a difference? Was the match there in a position where it was precarious?
If it
If
was
he wanted
precarious,
to-
he wouldn't have come in.
If he was I'm saying even I'm accepting. Let's say even if he walked out to bat to please the people over there,
Okay.
the franchise knew, that the crowds had come there only for one man.
So, okay. When he came out, Kolkata Knight Riders' best 2 spinners had bowled out. Sunil Narine and
match
Varun
was won.
Chakravarti.
What is the harm? I'm saying the
Why
match
couldn't he
was
have gone ahead of Dubey?
No, why would
His
you have
show
gone
is
ahead
worth.
with Dubey? Not a chance.
CSK might have ended up in the losing side. If
See, that is the
He might have.
perception that is
Point-
there.
See, I have a question. I have a
That
question.
is, I may have different opinions, but this what you're saying is totally out of line.
Outrageous.
See, that is the perception
That
that
if he
is there.
came out when
No.
Dubey was batting,
That's not fair.
See, I'm not against him, but my question to all of you is:
that's
is
troll
thi-
level.
No, is this a CSK's IPL campaign or Dhoni farewell tour?
Exactly. Thank you.
Get two things clear. Are we as a CSK franchise playing just to give Dhoni a farewell? So he might open one day. No problem. But you have accepted that it's a Dhoni
the
farewell
goal
tour.
also,
Doesn't matter if we win the title, win some few matches or not, but it's for Dhoni. Or are you playing the Indian Premier League of 17th season to win the title? Is it about a person? And again, taking nothing away from him. He's a 5-time IPL champion, but are you clear that it's a IPL campaign or a Dhoni farewell tour?
No, my point is, I mean, getting into the merits of him coming out or not coming out of that is a different thing. But you're saying, is it, you're effectively saying that they're making a mockery out of this by making it sound like it's a exhibition match for Dhoni's farewell, right? But what if by doing this exhibition match or exhibition gesture, they were risking their team's loss? Then I would understand that they were in a situation where they were going to risk their loss. If you were in a situation where you could win it easily, I'll give an example. I'll give you a football example. Like, Barcelona had a defender called Javier Mascherano, who did yeoman service to the club. Had never scored a goal in their competition. But they were playing a game where they were easily winning, a penalty game, and they said, Mascherano, it's your last season, you take the penalty. He took the penalty. It's another thing he scored. But if he had missed it also,
Wouldn't have mattered.
it wouldn't have mattered. They were winning that game. It was done, safe. So similarly, if Dhoni came out for the crowds, because there will be limited chance, as Harshit is saying, for a few times, it's okay. Yes, if it was a situation where he coming out was going to risk your team's win, then your point will be valid, that are you only bothered about his farewell or are you here to win the tournament? I think no one will be as competitive as Dhoni himself to win the tournament. I don't think he would want anything more to sign off on a high by lifting the trophy and going. I don't think he will at any situation for his own, even if you could say that there's a selfish reason, even for that selfish reason wouldn't want it to be risk. I don't think there was any risk there.
But
So
if you are a MS Dhoni, if you are MS Dhoni, then you could have sent a Samir Rizvi to go finish up the match for us.
No, but what is it that
you are
Samir
a big
Rizvi-
player.
What is it that a Samir Rizvi would have done?
A younger player, you go out, just take, you need 3 runs, go out and play.
How would that help him?
But
It's not helping MS Dhoni also. It's only helping the fans.
Yeah, but the games run by the fans, if they've come just to see a glimpse of him.
One of 3.
See, if it is not affecting the game, game is primary, and that has to be at no point sacrificed. That I agree with you. If it was a situation where you were, even if there was a remote chance you were going to risk it, then I would also be critical. Boss, that this fanfare business, keep it at home.
aside.
Yeah.
This is serious business. But I don't think at any situation that was at risk. How would it make a difference? And also it wasn't even a situation. Let's assume that it was a situation where they still needed like run a ball for a few moments. Then also it wouldn't have been a bad idea to send a Samir Rizvi so that he could have gained some experience. In this situation, he would have barely gained any experience also. Like 30 runs needed, maybe he bats 15 deliveries, I could have thought. But I have a criticism about this, which the only criticism I have about MS Dhoni in this scenario is that on an occasion where he needed to come out earlier as well, in that previous game,
against
that is where also he should have come out earlier. That is what you need to do. If it's by case basis, for example, today I agree if it's a case by case basis, even if it is true that Harshit is saying it's for the fans, but that is the case. Similarly, there was a case last time also that he could have given himself a better chance or his team a better chance of putting a bigger total. He didn't come out. That's the only thing. Which means to tell me, because remember we were having an argument in somebody was pointing out that 7 is the right if he's made up the mind, and I said it should not be number 7 fixed. It should be a situation. So if this situation, if I was to believe what Harshit is saying, if this situation demanded that MS come out now, even if it is for the fans. That situation in the previous game demanded that he come out to bat ahead of a Ravindra Jadeja and a Daryl Mitchell, which he did not. That's what I'm
So is it safe to say that Dhoni will come out to bat in further matches as well when the case is done? When the match is safe, now go out, play to go out.
If that's the case, then I'd be
So
disappointed.
then he
If that's the case, I'd be
playing
disappointed.
playing anywhere. The match is done.
No.
Now go out.
No, actually,
play
to be
2-3
fair,
balls.
you saw
Yeah.
last year what was happening. Every game became a home game for CSK. Especially
Because
in
people
the...
thought last year was the farewell tour of MS
This year
Dhoni
is
and-
also the same thing. Nothing's
are
changed.
you-
No, but if it's even if it's a farewell game, even if you're playing out, even if he was to do it, so long as he's not risking the match, I have no problem. The problem will be if what Saransh is saying, that if he was to come out to bat in every match when the game is done, that then would be an issue.
Will he promote himself only in this situation when you are required of 7 or 14 or 20 of?
No.
If we
He
know
should-
MS Dhoni is a finisher, greatest finisher of his generation and everything. So why not come at a number 3 and finish the game off?
Because the answer to that is he's not at the peak of his powers anymore. This is something that the fans will have to accept.
But Harshit, as you're giving reasons, that's one thing. I agree with one of your reasons that he wants to make the fans happy. The other reason is also to win games, na, right?
That's fine.
So for both reasons, you need to
I'll
step
take him batting at 7-8 because I've accepted, let's say, as a Mahendra Singh Dhoni
No,
admirer.
but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Now you're saying you
Because
can't have
today,
no.
I'll tell you what, today, the match is done and dusted. The match is done and dusted, so to play to the gallery today, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Even when he comes out to bat at 7-8, I don't think it's too low for him because he's not at the peak of his powers.
the problem is
that's
that's-
not to say he's powerless that he can't even get you past
It's
the
a
finishing
flawed-
line when you're within touching distance.
Flawed argument, because the primary reason that you play a sport, is not just to please the fan.
Is to
It's to
win.
win a game. Correct.
Yes.
The secondary reason alongside it comes is, again, I'll give you a football example that to play the game, some people are obsessed. Fans get happy when the team plays beautifully. Right? But the primary reason is to win. If you can win and add beauty to the way you play, that's still acceptable. But you cannot go down in the road which you are by saying, no, I want to just be playing beautiful. It does not matter what the result is. That's effectively what you're saying. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. That, okay, on occasions where you may have to please the fan, you're okay with MS coming out and batting early. But on occasions where he could make a difference as a player, it's okay, let him bat at
Because
7.
again, there is
No, that's
numbers to
unfair.
suggest that
That-
again,
that
if you've
is
been watching
unfair.
the IPL season after season, there is enough evidence to know that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not at the peak of his powers anymore. So to expect him to be the Mahendra Singh Dhoni of 14, 15, 16, that's an unfair ask.
You tell me this season, please, if you're going by numbers, in this season, out of the, let's say, I'm going to take an example of an Ajinkya Rahane and MS Dhoni. In this season, whatever you've seen of the two of them, who's looked more destructive between the two? Between an Ajinkya Rahane and a MS Dhoni?
MSG.
Right? Then, yet, Rahane is batting higher up, no? Because that's his position. But my point is, if that is exactly what MS also did, if you are trusting a player to do a certain role, and everyone has a different role, so if wickets were to fall, a Rahane comes or a Daryl Mitchell comes. I understand that role. Similarly, MS also has a role that when wickets fall and you need some acceleration, he has to come. But if he's not going to have a role either to be the consolidator, if he's not going to have a role, if you think he's useless, even in terms of the finisher, then you should be the one who should say, I don't want him in the team. He has to play a role. I still think he has the power to have that role to be a finisher. Just that you're not using him. And you can't be okay, today for the crowd he's come out, it's okay. No, it's for the crowd he's come out, okay, I'm saying fine. But similarly, when the team also needs him to finish, I think he has the capability, he should come in. But if you think he does not have the capability, then you should start this. No MS in the team. Start that campaign. Siddharth can't vote in that because he has given up on CSK.
I am saying that the argument to promote an MSD in this situation is flawed.
No, the situational promotion. If the game is done, I will promote myself. I will bat 2-3 balls.
Okay.
If we have in a bit of tricky situation, then I will send a Shivam Dubey, Daryl Mitchell, or a Rizvi.
Promoting Dhoni is not a problem, provided it's consistently done when the need is.
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot
That's
sail on.
what I'm saying.
You
Not
cannot-
every game.
You cannot,
Not every game.
You cannot sail on both boats.
As
at
I
the same
have
time.
mentioned,
To be fair to Siddharth, he's not sailing on the same boat. He is saying whether it's for the fans,
I am not saying
he doesn't
to-
want
I am not
him.
saying to him,
Whether it is for the team, he
Okay,
doesn't want him.
I have mentioned
he just
that
doesn't
again.
want him.
I am saying, okay, I again asked you what is the year and what is the date. 8/4/2024.
Yeah, every match you're gonna
but
ask
you
us.
are talking as if MS Dhoni is of 2016 or 17 strength, yeah.
But
In 5 years, MS Dhoni has won you only one game with the bat.
Because he never comes out to bat.
And whenever he's done, he's lost you games.
That's the whole argument. He never. When
He has lost you more games than he's won.
To be fair,
In
I
the
was
last
very
5
worried
years.
in the final also that when he was out, I'm like, that's game
So
swung.
then why don't you start a petition to have CSK without him?
will be.
You start.
will
I
be-
can.
No,
If he has a
but
death
It
wish,
is,
he can.
it is
Yeah,
practical.
will be- that's the.
It is
that's the
practical.
problem. That's a problem.
You don't want death
That's
threats.
a-
You don't want death threats.
that's a
Don't do
problem.
that.
Yeah.
It is a practical situation.
We'll get threats. Will be abused in
No,
our
no,
deal.
you don't have to. We get
No,
threats all
look.
the time. You guys were bashing
No, no.
Virat Kohli that time. Why were you not so
it is-
considerate about
listen,
Virat?
Because everyone agreed.
I am agreeing with you
that
as
is a
well.
problem.
I'm not
Everyone
kidding.
on the same page.
It was a miracle that day that everybody agreed. But here,
But
I'll
I
tell
didn't
you,
agree with you guys.
Of course, someone has to be a
I
contrarian.
didn't agree.
Someone has to be a contrarian.
I didn't agree.
So look, if this argument was happening in 2019, then I would totally agree with you. Yes, MS Dhoni, whatever position he is, he should be playing and he should be promoting himself according to the situation.
Man, 2019 is a bad year you've cited.
Why?
New Zealand?
No, I'm talking about the IPL.
Oh, IPL, okay.
IPL, he was winning you.
He was
games.
winning you
What
games.
New Zealand? What New Zealand?
And the semi.
He would have won you the game if he was not run out.
Hey, then so if my auntie...
Yes, he would have. Would have.
I know
It
that
was
this
not
was.
impossible situation.
Nobody made it very tough.
Yeah.
It was tough,
It's-
but that's what he specializes in.
But he upgrades
Making
play.
game stuff. It's because of him.
That's what he enjoys.
Jadeja got out in under pressure because of him. You leading balls.
I am not blaming Jadeja. Actually, kept the game alive.
Yeah.
Completely credit. But that's what happens all the time. And MS does that. If the other person is keeping you abreast to the net run rate, why should he also be the one take that risk? I don't think that situation where he got. See, the man has a plan. He has had a plan for many years. And why is it that people love him? Because where you and I panic and have panic, he kept calm and found a way to win. He's done it many times, right? He did it. I think even in that 2019 game, he had a plan. He got run out. Okay, there is a possibility that he could have won you that game. There's a possibility he couldn't have. But I will fail to agree to the fact that he did not have a plan. At the situation where he got out, it was 9 balls left.
9 balls left, 23 runs were needed.
9 balls, 23 is not impossible.
It was 10,
9
10,
balls,
But only
23.
3 wickets remaining.
25
2 wickets remaining.
Smack the
Yeah.
6 over.
9 balls, 23 is not, especially in today's day and age.
Last was that was Nisham, I think.
Yeah,
They had used up all the bowlers.
You get a 6 and a 4 in that remaining 2, which is not impossible. That's 10 runs done. 13 of the last over. Game is on, my friend. Game is on.
Look-
Pressure is on the bowler, as MS says.
Look,
I-
every
It could have,
single
but
time.
Nikhil
It could have.
That was the last
but-
few days of his taking the game deep tempo.
Achha, anyway,
it was
that's
not-
not the game that we are arguing. But get to your
Just a point, it was not for the first time in
What
that
happened?
World Cup as well. Before the game, they played against England. Dhoni was batting with Kedar Jadhav. We finished around 330 for 5. We lost by
We lost for 30 runs.
30-40 runs.
338 we couldn't
See,
shoot.
that I still agree. I think they knew there was a done case because they didn't have batting. Remember, that match...
Your power play start was terrible. 10 overs, 26.
Not just that. You were playing the Kulchar duo, which meant you were basically only batting till like 6,
7, yeah.
So what they did actually in that case, and I hated it, but it was damage limitation. Knowing ki if they lost wickets, if a Kedar went, if a Dhoni went, you were into the bowlers. And England, that game had killed you because Bairstow and Roy murdered the Kulchar duo.
The problem is, in the last 5 years, Dhoni has won you only one game with the bat. That was
In
against
T20s.
Mumbai Indians. In the IPL. I'm talking
IPL.
about. Rajasthan Royals, he took it deep, he botched it up. Spectacularly botched it up. Yeah, last year. GT.
He came out first ball duck.
And it added the pressure even
What
more.
about the time that he was
Final.
batting first and had that
2 sixes of Markwood.
What about those situations? That's not going to count. Only
Why?
time it has to be a chase only.
It has to be a chase.
Are you satisfied with only 2 6s? Dhoni
But
came
he's
out
coming
two
out at
six-
that point
I'm just
now.
saying
It is
that-
good for optics. Those 2 6s were excellent for optics. The North Star and its constellations. It's great for that. But apart from that, it didn't give me any indication. And we were all happy with that
Did
situation.
they win that
wasn't
game,
it?
by the way, the LSG game? Did they win that game?
Yes, they did. 201, the same game that you pointed out. And okay, they won it by the barest of margins because Tushar Deshpande was spraying it all over the place. Remember?
Don't blame it on Tushar
No,
Deshpande.
I don't blame Tushar Deshpande.
Who needed nothing? Tushar Deshpande. They would have lost that game.
See, he hit 2 sixes of Mark Wood. Great, excellent, awesome, badhiya. But then, while chasing, you didn't win. Simple as that.
Fair. I do tend to agree that with the World Cup.
Acha, Shane didn't have his say on the walking.
I don't think there was anything much I can add that hasn't been already. I was like, oh my god, this is as it
I
is.
don't know which part are you going to add. Mine, Saransh's, Harshit.
No, I tend to agree more with let's say the gentleman on the extreme
CSK
here.
side.
Yeah, it was showmanship, which I get, but I think maybe I felt it a little deeper here because it was my team on the receiving end of it. So another team might probably be laughing at it.
Yeah.
But here it's like, you're already hard run, you're walking out now, really getting the adulation, get the game done with and move on, man.
When he came, he didn't achieve 2 things. One,
No, sir.
his strike rate didn't improve. 1 of 3 or 33. Okay. Second, he didn't finish the game.
Boundary, 6 in the game.
He didn't finish the game.
He didn't come to do that.
He came for the applause.
Yeah.
He came for 150 decibels.
You being such a big player coming out of applause, I understand in a game or two it might happen.
What, is he the Rock from WrestleMania?
He is.
He is John Cena.
To be
of
fair,
wrestling.
he is very much that,
He
now
is the
part-time
rock.
attraction.
He is the rock of IPL, yes.
Yeah.
Certainly
No,
is.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
He
Not
got
the Rock
But
of
I
IPL.
think, in a certain,
That's what I meant.
in one way or the other, this affects your reputation. You are MS Dhoni, finish on a high. Be a big player as you have always been. Don't come for these silly 2
Then he
balls.
should have retired either in 21 or 23.
So that's the problem with Indian cricketers and Indian cricket. No,
Yeah,
they
but
don't want
23
to finish
couldn't
on a
have
high.
retired.
They always want to play.
No, but
if-
Shane, he couldn't have retired in 23. You got for
But
first ball duck.
20
MS,
You were
MS
giving-
don't say that MS retired from Test cricket when no one expected.
Yeah.
It was
10
a
years
shocker.
ago.
After the Test match, he announced his retirement.
And ODIs and
Same with
T20Is.
ODI also. He knew in now that you know.
After 2019, there was nothing left to play for him as well.
But
2019
yeah,
semi-final, you lost
if-
after a year. You announced that
if-
at
if he
7:29, I will.
wanted
I'm not.
August
against him.
15th,
I'm-
2020, 7:29.
I'm not against him. I'm just saying.
So Saransh is like what now? You've seen that Sholay movie. वो मेरा दोस्त है ना वो शराब नहीं पीता है वो
अच्छा,
शराब
he
तब
said
पीता
Mossy,
है
Mossy and
जब वो
Amitabh
जुआ
Bachchan.
खेलता है वो जुआ जब नहीं खेलता है वो कभी
अरे
कभी कोठे पे
Mossy,
चला जाता है
जुआ भी तो राजा महाराजा भी खेलते थे.
आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट MS Dhoni but he should
I'm-
he did
I'm
this
just-
he's
I'm
this
just
he's that
question-
but I'm not against MS Dhoni I love MS
Again,
Dhoni
I'm not. I'm putting out these questions. I'm just saying why. What's the need? You have accomplished everything in your career.
No, I have one very serious
Okay,
question.
so I'll end this with this dialogue.
Are you ending it?
नहीं ये just
How are you ending it?
No, not ending it. अजीब बात ऐसा अजीब बात है मेरे इतने समझाने के बाद भी आप नहीं समझ पाए.
I have one very important question. If he's Mossy, then who's Rolando? That's a meme. I'll show you later.
Messi is called Mossy and Ronaldo.
So there's this one meme where this guy in a village
Oh,
or something is
yes.
interviewing a kid. He's like, तो तुम बड़ा होकर क्या बनना चाहते हो? He's like, Rolando बनेंगे, IPL खेलेंगे. So, that's better. He's like, Rolando बन के IPL खेलोगे? हाँ. और तुम क्या बनोगे? Mossy.
ये तो बहुत and we all know after that what happened. Mossy ji and
And then you have Messi morphed into like images with people wearing dupattas and all. It's really funny.
and then that
Mossy.
background. Oh.
Personal. Another one is someone came up with one. He's like, तुम क्या बनना चाहते हो फुटबॉल में? Krishna Ronaldo. So you got pictures of Ronaldo's face superimposed on Krishna and everything. It was
Krishna Ronaldo.
Cristiano.
Krishna Ronaldo.
आज से तुम्हारा नाम कृष्णा
No,
रोनाल्डो.
but Rolando is best.
कृष्णा रोनाल्डो.
And Mousy.
And a certain Lewandowski.
No, let's not go there. Ban हो जाएगा channel.
By the way, good day. Can we move on? We want to
Yes,
talk about-
please.
Good day for Captain Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think he was under pressure. Pressure because of results not going his way, and also the season hadn't been great with the bat, and I think they needed him to come back into form. A lot of people will say that, listen, this is an easy game, but I think a good player is that utilizes a game where there's not too much of pressure to get back into form. So if he was not to utilize this and throw away his wicket, I think that would have been questionable. So good on him. Realize that today could be the day where I can comfortably, spend time on the wicket without the pressure of the run rate and so on and so forth, and spend some time because that helps. And believe you me, going forward, they're going to need in-form Ruturaj Gaikwad because Rachin Ravindra hasn't been firing at all. We don't know when Devon Conway is going to be coming
May
back.
first week.
Well, May first week is what we projected, so long way off.
Still a long way off. So if you're going to stick with Rachin Ravindra to be opening,
You know,
then
there
He
is
needs to perform. He needs to perform.
Yeah.
Big
There is
time
an
now.
even bigger concern. I mean, you saw MS Dhoni, that catch, and also he was not able to bend properly also. That knee injury.
Actually, you're right. That catch that went on
Yeah.
the
Russell
guy,
catch. Yeah.
which I was pretty surprised that most commentators just
Brushed away.
brushed it aside by saying that, oh, a rare thing, which it is a rare thing. We spoke about MS Dhoni. One of the most phenomenal things about him is he does not do any sort of wicket keeping for 10 months of a year and just comes to the IPL and is phenomenal with his wicket keeping. But I agree, when I saw that attempt, it wasn't so much of him not being able to catch it. I think he didn't go full throttle to
Yes.
reach that ball, and it completely, if you watch sport or if you play any kind of sport, you'll know 100% instinctively that he had some issue with his movement.
And there was
it
heavy
seemed like
taping.
it seemed, because that is not he could have dropped a catch,
Yeah.
but he would have reached the catch comfortably and then he had dropped it. In this case, he was not willing to go that much and put that much effort on his knee, and it clearly showed, which is a dangerous sign.
Which is dangerous.
Which could also explain why you guys are all saying he doesn't
So
come
to-
out to
to
bat.
add
come
to
out
that,
to bat.
I've
He can't come out.
always been saying that.
No, but they're saying that he is lost his powers. Maybe
No,
he
but
believes he has
if he
it.
really can't come out to bat, why does he
Yeah,
come out to
then
bat
argument
here?
was- I
I'm saying-
cited
I
all the
agree,
two reasons
But
of-
I'm saying that is still conjecture.
Yeah,
Still
it's conjecture,
We
but
don't know.
I cited two
But
reasons.
even
One was
prior to his 2023 knee injury, he had lost his mojo.
But to add to that,
No,
there
not
was-
in wicket keeping, Siddharth.
In batting.
No, but I just because
Wicket-
it is a wicket keeping example, and it showed injury more than him losing.
This is
his
the
mojo.
first time.
But
No, but the movement
it was
is
second
very
time in the match. There was a throw from
He didn't
Samir.
go for it.
There was
He
a
didn't go for it.
throw from Samir Rizvi. He
couldn't
bend
bend
completely.
properly.
He just
He was like
went
this,
like this,
very
and
stiff.
then he was stiff.
And that is a problem because you only have one keeper. Devon Conway is also not available. Will they be tempted to play Aravali Avinash? That is the most important thing. Because that's the only keeper they have. They don't have anybody else.
Are they risking certain MS Dhoni in this farewell tour of him? If he's not fully fit, just for the crowd, he's coming out to bat, or he's taking the field in first 20 overs of CSK bowling just because of his fans. Even if he's not fully fit, he was limping in the last game as well. After the game, he went to meet the ground staff and other players. He had a ice pack on his ankle, and today as well, 2 attempts. By the way, in the same game, he took a 2.72 meters diving catch to his right, the stunner he took. And also, but now if he's limping, if he's not fully fit, is it safe?
See, look, it is kind of safe in the sense that it's not the future of MS that you're looking at, right? It's anyways last season. So if it was a younger player or playing the World Cup and so on and so forth, you may look at that. I don't think they're looking at that. The other option that they could have, you say they have a wicket keeper.
Aravali Avanish, you have
I
that.
guess the way CSK are, they'd rather just play MS on
one leg.
on one leg, and even reach a state where they say, okay, even if we don't get you to bat,
You just keep.
You just keep and be the
Impact sub.
impact sub.
You could impact sub him out, why not?
Yeah.
You could.
You could, but
So that's the thing. I mean, you've reached a point where he's only, and again, with as Siddharth always points out, CSK is the club where a lot of young players, their careers tend to go to die because they will not get a chance.
I think Samir Rizvi will find it out soon. Because he's gotten only one chance. Today, he could have come in.
My point exactly the same is
by
that
the way, Samir Rizvi has the highest strike rate of 137. The whole batting lineup. This Chennai batting lineup.
T20s.
Yeah,
Oh, the what's-
137.
what
The
I still
highest.
find amusing is that this is a spinning friendly pitch and you still didn't see Rizvi bowl his mystery spin. It remains a mystery.
Still,
If he stays that long, his mystery will become history. I'm telling you.
That long as the franchise, you mean?
At the franchise, yes. Just ask Jagadish, just ask Sai
At
Kishore.
least he's making the 11.
But
Jagadish
is he getting a chance?
Sai Kishore didn't even make the 11.
Just ask an Aparajit. He didn't even get a chance. Just ask Vijay Shankar, Ronit More, never got a chance. Luckily, the Maharashtra Super Derby is there. The Maharashtra Super Kings, they make their presence felt. 6 players in there, by the way.
You gave
Maharashtra Super Kings.
Yeah. I mean, you got 6 players from Maharashtra. You got a Rahane, you've got a Dubey,
And
you've got a...
so if I'll say that, then I'll call it the Tamil Nadu Titans.
Can be, yes.
Yeah.
They got more Tamil players than CSK. Yes, you're right.
How many Gujus do they have?
None.
Exactly.
Just to ensure that your bias is not just restricted.
No. It is. See, there is
Tamil Nadu Titans.
Tamil Nadu Titans versus Maharashtra Super Kings. New teams.
Sounds like a bad video game.
It is.
Where they
all
just
those-
switch the names.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Indeed.
They'll go for Lakshay Kumar meal.
Let's take some savals.
Oops. Okay. Sawal, please.
Suryan Sharma says Harshit and Rutherford in place of Stark and Ramandeep. Harshit is better than Stark and Rutherford will bolster this weak batting lineup. Weak batting lineup? Give me the bat, I'll hit my head with it. Weak batting lineup?
Arey, which team are you talking about? Are you sure you're talking about KKR?
Outrageous!
Are you?
Sacrilege! A weak batting lineup, and also, by the way, Harshit's not playing because he's unfit.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But weak batting lineup.
But yeah, Sharfain Rutherford.
No, please, no. Sherfain will only and only play if Russell pulls his hammy.
Yeah.
I will have Russell Bowl on one leg.
And you cannot.
So far, Andre Russell is looking as fit as a fiddle.
By the way, there's quite a
this
few
season is
players.
better compared to the previous one.
UFC, man.
Quite a few players. Him, another one who's flying under the radar as far as how fit he looks, Varun.
Yes.
Varun in 2020-21 was very, very overweight. Now you look at him, the guy slimmed down a lot and took a good catch also today.
And today, I don't know if you noticed, family had come to watch the match.
Yeah.
But they were supporting Chennai Super Kings.
But to be fair, they are all Chennai
Yeah.
people, so
I mean,
kind of makes sense.
Varun is from Tamil Nadu, architect turned cricketer.
Yeah. Cricketer turned architect turned cricketer.
And
Yes.
this playing Rutherford in place of Stark is not happening because of the huge price tag.
No, so
Stark-
if you're dropping Stark, then Dushmanth Chamira, Baba, why will Sherfain and Rutherford come in? Chamira will come in then, no?
Chamira, better bowler.
Exactly. That's what makes sense.
Manav Kaushal is asking me, do you think CSK would finish higher if Dhoni doesn't play?
क्यों पूछना है यार ऐसा चीज है?
तभी तो जानबूझ के दे आया।
See, Dhoni's contribution with the bat is very, very negligible. Yet CSK have been winning titles. Na? 2 titles they have won in the last 3 years, 21 and 23. So, he plays, he doesn't play, doesn't matter with CSK anymore. But it really doesn't matter. If he plays, doesn't play.
Okay, next comment, Shane will read.
Rakesh Bhushan says, now it's obvious that Sid begs to differ to have some prominence. Will someone remind him that MSD is the defending captain in terms of defending IPL winning captain? Might not
Valid
contribute much with the bat, but his presence and astute input matters, and still ask any opposition player about an MS Dhoni.
Very valid point. Take that.
Yeah, see, today the field, who was setting the field? This was not an Ruturaj Gaikwad field.
Yeah,
This
you
was an
tell
MS
me,
Dhoni field.
If you're an
ठीक है।
opposition team, KKR, CSK without MS or CSK with MS?
Without MS, any day of
Any
the
day.
week.
See?
Without
See, you don't value what you have.
But I will take Mayank Badan's question because it's very funny.
Yeah.
He says
No, but we
MS.
haven't finished this.
Oh, wait, no, I read through it.
But we haven't finished
Please,
answering.
you
it.
answering for it.
You
Answer.
read through it or
Siddharth
not?
is
He has to
Vegani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana. Go on.
go for it.
I mean,
I cannot be at a shadi every day, na. My team played over.
coming.
Eventually it will be his then.
It will be his soon. Okay, but then look, I am saying with the bat and everything, see, now he's not the captain anymore, okay? But the field settings, strategy and everything, Ruturaj Gaikwad is not doing that. It's MSC.
See, field setting as a keeper, I
Yeah.
still get.
Keepers do that.
He's white-handing
Rishabh Pant
Ruturaj.
also used to do it even when he was not captain.
Not captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, he's white-handing Ruturaj. That is the best thing. So that's okay. I mean, he will take over the leadership, but he's there to just go
I
out for
see
the top.
Ruturaj telling the bowlers when to bowl next.
Also,
I
they
do
have
see
had a
that.
decent start, CSK.
Yes.
Under Jadeja, they had a disastrous start and everyone looked out of
Yeah,
sorts.
that season too was.
Look,
At least they have 3 wins now.
look, you had a Chris Jordan as your death overs. That was equivalent to committing harakiri. Please.
Air Jordan.
Air Jordan. He was going all in the air.
Air, he's called that no because he always flies out of the park.
Of course. And you had a half fit on a prayer Dwayne Pretorius. What would you do then?
Oh, you're doing Pretorius? I remember him.
So, Mayank Madan, MS is a beast when the game is already finished.
Who wanted to read that comment?
Sorry.
It's a
Shane.
nice comment.
But it's a great comment.
Nice comment.
Rajasthan
Both of
Royals
them
will
are the same
agree.
way.
I mean, why did
Ask for it before it.
why did Tom Curran's career go off the rails? MS Dhoni 3 sixes when the match was already lost.
This reminds you of something that had happened off air the other day, remember? Like, question was for that person, why are you answering? So that has his habit now.
Yeah.
Go ahead now with your comment about that. I know why you wanted to read that in a jiffy because you love it.
I love
so, what were you saying?
So, He's saying Mayank Madan saying MS is a beast when the game is already finished. Agree, 105%.
That's why he's the finisher.
He's the finisher. When the game is finished, he finishes the game.
You
even
will
more.
see this season. He's a better finisher than your Daryl Mitchell and Ravindra Jadeja.
Of course, more than Jadeja. Yes, agreed.
See, Daryl Mitchell in the last game finished off the game for CSK.
Yeah.
For the opposition.
But today he had redemption.
Today kind of a different game now. This game, yes, Daryl Mitchell should have come.
Exactly.
It's that kind of a thing.
So-
I'm talking about the previous game.
Yeah.
And the game previous to that.
Okay, so MS Dhoni would have hit 16 of 37 if promoted. He likes to take the game deep.
16.
Yeah. And then last 3 overs, he would have hit it 30 of 8 balls and wow, I have finished the game. Simple.
We should all come up with nicknames for ourselves in intro plates. No?
Yeah,
He'll be the
I thought,
contrarian.
do you see how Gambhir and MS met
They're very
after?
friendly. Gambhir is on a like
They
what?
can give up.
Gambhir is
No,
on a
no,
world
that-
peace
damage
mission.
control
This
tour.
man-
Gambhir is on a damage
He's
control
on a
tour.
friendship redemption
World
tour.
peace
Only
mission.
damage control.
What?
Why does he need to control any damage?
So he's on a friendship redemption tour with Kohli,
better.
now MS.
Appoint him world peace ambassador.
He spent time in politics. He's realized that
It's not worth it.
this is more Maya. It's not worth it. बाहर
Let's
जाओ
go to
प्यार
this.
बांटो
हाँ.
गले लगाओ.
But now he doesn't even need votes. What does he need to be?
No, that's why he's realized. That's
He's
why.
not asking him MS for votes. MS can't vote for him.
Arey, the public at large, how it perceives
No, not
that is
go
gone.
for his
I
own
think-
thing.
No, you're right.
You
He-
reach
now
that
he-
level.
Now he has said, man,
I realized.
let's go and give back to cricket. That's what I've got, and let's be friends with everyone.
I'm
Let's
also
not
getting old.
Ask what's going on, and let's hug MS Dhoni, and you are the greatest captain I've played under.
उम्र हो गई है, let's do दोस्ती यार. All that जवानी में we did.
Yeah, all
It's
that
fine.
gussa is when you're young only. Na?
Correct.
Yes.
Virat also now.
Yeah,
How?
but Virat fatherhood helps.
Gambhir clearly would.
No, but in Gambhir, see, he's mellowed down much better after 2011 onwards. He was still that angry guy, but now he's much better. 18 onwards.
No, Virat also had a few episodes after, but yeah, not.
Yeah, till
as frequently.
17. Till 17, 18 he
Well,
was.
that Gambhir Virat thing that
13.
Naveen ul Haq and not just.
Ah, 2020.
Also, lest we forget,
Yeah.
you're
2023.
saying 18. In 19, he was giving Kesrick Williams the notebooks.
Yes. That was payback for 2 years of
I
what
think
Kesrick Williams
it
did.
was 2022 when he got that first century after a
Afghanistan.
That 3-year slump made him mortal.
Yes, after that slump, he was a.
Yeah. Rakesh Bhushan. High time Shreyas Iyer needs to come up to terms with his batting. He looks jaded, mediocre in his captaincy. Looks like Gambhir is
Shreyas Iyer, Venkatesh Iyer?
his captaincy.
Captaincy, no?
Because he didn't write anything.
Because
You
I
said-
saw captaincy.
You said Shreyas Iyer.
I saw captaincy, that's why Shreyas Iyer. Otherwise, I would have interpreted as Venkatesh Iyer. Looks like Gambhir is overpowering him on field decision. He's just an implementer like Shubman.
See, listen, I will say that his captaincy today at times was poor. As far as his batting, I don't think there was much more he could have done. A. B. Implemented just like Shubman Gill. Again, I come back to the same point. If it really was all Nehra ji who took them to one title and one final, why aren't GT doing well now? If he is in fact, Shubman Gill is the implementer.
No, that's also because GT's personnel have gone.
No, but
as
even
you
then-
mentioned.
then-
There's no Hardik Pandya.
There's no Hardik
But
Pandya,
can I
there's
tell
no
you
Shami.
on this, in this, I don't disagree about the Shreyas Iyer bit because I'm not saying it and it's not conjecture. I heard Shreyas Iyer in an interview saying that I do everything that Gautam Gambhir tells me. He said it in an interview. He said even small little decisions because he was praising how much Gautam has
impact.
made
He's
and
always
different.
messaging
He
him
was
and
like
all.
he's sending messages across for bowling changes. I was like, great, yeah. This captain says that, you know, my coach is helping me even for the minute decisions. So in Shreyas Iyer's own words, it is Gambhir who's running the show. Now whether they succeed or they have a failure of a season, then it's all down to Gautam Gambhir. Because Shreyas himself has said it now in as many words that this is Gambhir's
He's
show.
making job easier for Shreyas Iyer.
But then again, I don't agree with this thing of it's all down to one person.
yeah, true.
Same thing with the Nehra thing. Everyone was gaga about, and again, this was the Hardik Pandya hate train time where people are like, oh, Pandya is overrated, it's all down to Nehra. I'm like, if that were the case, then he would be finding a way now, no? A lot of decisions are being made by the captain of GT, Shubman Gill, who's learning on the job. The Nalkande thing multiple times, bowling him in the 20th over, promoting him over Rahul Tewatia. Those don't seem like Nehra ji calls to me.
Exactly.
Okay. Shubham Garg says, Siddharth is mum on Ruturaj strike rate to this day. He runs down VK 58 and 53 versus GT 2022. RCB won that game still.
Wrong.
It points out strike rate, shows analysis. Very.
Absolutely wrong. Firstly, VK 59 or 53 in the GT game, they lost RCB.
Yeah, they didn't win,
And,
they lost.
okay, Shubham Garg is
If they
Rituraj.
lost, then that will be.
Oh, yeah.
Another
They
wise
lost.
question,
It
yeah.
was 2022. It was
Today
at
you can't
Brabant.
question Rituraj's strike rate because
They
It
won.
was a need of the
batting-
hour.
And it was a bad pitch.
It was a need of the hour.
Today the wicket genuinely was sluggish, visibly sluggish,
It's
and
like
the need of the hour.
all
was
of
to
you
just-
who would have started abusing KL Rahul yesterday and then quickly eaten your words after mid innings ke baad.
Yeah.
He has defended a 165.
Because-
Ministry of Defense.
Defense Minister.
Defense Minister. yes.
KL Rahul for defense minister.
Defense Minister.
But
But he won.
he won, and maybe I was a leader. Maybe
Yeah.
it was a tough pitch to bat on.
And Shubham Garg, is Shreyas Iyer or Rituraj Gaikwad in contention for the T20 World Cup? Answer that. The answer is no.
No, even if they're not, I'm saying you can still be critical, but all of us have criticized Rituraj's approach. That includes Siddharth. So I don't understand where this thing is coming from that he's mum.
It is simple. It's just because we are perceived to target Virat every time. That's why this kind of comments come.
And also Harshit made it clear in the beginning as well that today it was not required. Ritu played because he knew that only 138 to win. He can take a couple of balls, couple of overs to settle in and play sensibly.
To add to, let's say, a point that Siddharth often mentions on the show, but people don't register that much, that you would take that kind of an innings if Virat Kohli is in a chase and he will then ensure that his team goes over the line.
Correct.
But it doesn't so happen when he's batting first. That's when the strike rate is not acceptable. That's the point that he makes more often. 58 or 53 in a losing cause, batting first is not going to be acceptable ever.
Ever.
Not just to Siddharth, to anyone here if you ask.
Not even to Kohli's hardcore fans.
Even that day when we were talking about the game, KKR RCB game
Yeah.
and Virat's innings, RCB were batting first.
Yes.
That's why. If RCB would have batted second and Virat have scored those many runs and RCB won. At the end of the day, win matters.
Yeah.
Virat scored 100 the other day. Butler scored 100. Who won? Rajasthan won. That's why it.
Okay, I'm going to take Divyang's question later. I'm going to take Mayank Madan because we were just talking about it. He said, I wonder if Ritu gets any credit for today's knock. Of
Yes.
course, we mentioned it specifically.
Very vital knock
Amongst
for him.
all the other fun banter that we had,
Yeah.
we took our time just for Rituraj's knock. Smart, sensible batting today.
Very
Now
important
to-
for his confidence.
Yeah. Now to Divyang, who says, take MS to US. Anyways, no wicket keeper is 70. Take that, Siddharth. It's for you.
Okay,
For
Divyang,
you.
1929 hours, August 15th, 2020. Consider myself retired. And you are taking a half-fit
Again,
MS Dhoni to the World
Again,
T20.
I mean, Mohammad Amir has made a return, na?
But no cricketer
Fitness.
in Indian history has ever returned from retirement.
Yes.
No cricketer in Indian history. No Indian cricketer came back from retirement and played international cricket for India. No cricketer.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Really, you can't
MS
think
cannot
about
But
it.
the same exercise like we did here in this room, if you
We
want
are
to do
too
with
old
the
with our
opposition as well.
neighbours.
Do you want in India to come to the World Cup with MS Dhoni, without MS Dhoni?
See, Divyang-
Not everyone's reaction will be the same. No, don't tell him.
No,
No,
Divyang.
as much as I supported MS, let's be honest.
It's done.
done, yeah.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure he's being tongue-in-cheek.
I know. See, Divyang, we don't want to be Pakistan here, where everybody retires and comes back 5 to 6 times in their career here.
And Shoaib Malik is still active, I think.
No, Afridi retired 6-7 times.
But Shoaib Malik, I don't think ever retired.
He-
He was
yeah.
not
Yeah,
selected.
he's not considered
No,
for
no,
selection. He's
ODIs
not
he
retired.
did, and then he retired, he came back then.
Even
White ball
Hafiz
cricket.
at one point.
Hafiz.
Yusuf Johanna, Mohammad Yusuf, every one of them.
They were the same guy, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
Yes?
Yusuf Yana.
Yusuf
Yusuf
Yana
Yana
converted to Mohammad Yusuf.
Yunus Khan.
Yunus Khan.
Sorry. Yeah. Yunus Khan.
Yes, yes.
So, last Shubham guy is saying, nowadays, Nick sir gives Akshay Kumar here a very vibrant show. Trying to pull Junior's leg. It's really entertaining and fun to watch.
Ah, lovely. Yeah. Thank you.
ये
Some
तो
people take it seriously and they think
ये
Yeah,
तो
you are-
हलकट है रे बाबा ये तो बिल्कुल हलकट
I
है
was about to say that this is just an occasion that Siddharth was waiting for. He didn't need this, and then he.
No, what is he waiting for? His team, he's not his team, no? So,
I know.
Doesn't matter.
He needs half an invite to put out Hera Fairy dialogue and get into Paris travel
The
mode.
goat film of all time.
especially when certain people make those requests.
Yeah. Sharath Reddy, as long as fans and franchises are happy with MS, it shouldn't be a problem. Man has done so much. Some respect is appreciated. He's not playing for India to be critical.
Can I point out to that? While I agree with your first point that as long as franchise and fans are happy, it's true. But the opinion that you're getting here is also how fans think. So there would be a lot of fans who may have been unhappy today. There would be fans who are happy. And when I'm going to talk about fans, I will talk all fans. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I don't think every team is just answerable to their sets of fans. I think everyone watches cricket. Yeah, I mean, he can escape the scrutiny from an international cricket point of view. I agree, because he's retired. But that doesn't mean that because he's a professional cricketer and he's still a public figure, so there will be scrutiny there.
Also,
No, so by this logic now, we should not criticize anyone.
But Nikhil, to add to that, I'll come to that. When CSK lost against Delhi, people were celebrating. They cannot be Chennai fans. Chennai lost the game, but they were celebrating because of that 16 ball 37.
They were young.
Yeah, they cannot be Chennai fans. If a fan,
No, they're Dhoni fans.
Yeah, they were Dhoni fans.
So then Dhoni in that sense is also answerable to those Dhoni fans.
True.
And so if they are unhappy with what happened today, they have the right to be.
You
Exactly.
support a team. If you in football you support everyone you have your own club. It doesn't matter which player plays for it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Club
At the end of the day, your club
everyone.
should your club should win. Your
Club over
F1 racing team
personality.
should win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shivam, then जो super chat नहीं भेजेगा मतलब you won't take that.
बेचारे.
Mr. Bichara.
Very bad.
Yeah.
And you hit the chats. Just press show chat.
Yeah. He cut.
It's okay. He'll do it, guys. It's okay. Okay, Dhaval Kumar says month opening with Rohit can solve a lot of selection.
No, you'll bench both Jaiswal and Gill.
You know,
Makes a new problem.
not happening.
No.
Jaiswal and Gill will be saying, "मेरे को क्यों तोड़ा यार?"
Jaiswal haven't done anything
Exactly.
wrong done yet.
And don't get swayed by 4, 5, 6
Exactly.
games.
As I said, with Rishabh Pant, the EQ factor comes in, the emotional quotient factor. So please.
Okay. Piyush Nandre says Rinku and Jaiswal making efforts to make place for both Rohit and Virat in T20 World Cup 11. Great tribute by youngsters to this.
You've forgotten Rinku Singh getting 26 of 8 then. Come on, yaar.
I
Just-
think
just
this
that-
is probably the
that's-
first failure he may
Huh?
have.
Yeah, in a very long
And-
time. These are the fans. One bad day, you
From the
forget
second
everything.
half of 2022
Till
till now,
2024.
this man has not had a single failure. But because he's not an established star, very easy to pull down, I guess.
Which is why I am saying it was a rare failure for Rinku today.
We all said it was a rare failure, and that's why no one was mad also when he got out, because it's like, ठीक है यार, how many times will he get you over the line?
Everyone is allowed to have a failure or two.
He's not Superman, yeah, in that sense, yeah.
Contrary to whatever.
Yeah, but
Mayank is welcoming you back.
Mayank, thank you so much.
He
yaar.
missed you,
I
really.
missed you guys too, and love to all of you.
No opinions or questions today. Only best wishes and love to all of you. Keep the Ab Tak Amazing.
Ah,
going.
that's-
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love back to you. Yeah, have a great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the entire week. Okay. Any कहीं भी. अच्छा, this.
Repeat it.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done that. Okay. Sharath Reddy said Ambati Raidu came back, retired
Oh, yes.
from ICL back then. Correct.
Yes, yes.
But then he never played for India. in the
India,
ICL
never played for
times.
India.
That's the
He
point.
played on the franchise.
He played for
He played for the ICL teams and then retired because they had that embargo of sorts.
3-year embargo.
Yeah, and then came back. Of course, with Ambati, you have to remember he's retired and unretired multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Armin wants to know, Shane, why are you so happy even after this performance from KKR? What was this from KKR? And Dhoni always comes up the order when this situation.
Thank you for asking this question, Armin, because again, sometimes you have to look at big picture. Am I happy with the result? No. But you have to look at bigger perspectives. You have to look at the bigger picture. Listen, first 4 games, you had 4 away games. You played SRH in Hyderabad. You played RCB in Bangalore. You played Delhi in Vizag, but that was also an away game. It wasn't in Eden Garden. And you've played Chennai and Chepauk. 4 games which could have been very tough away games. You've won 3. You're still second on the table and you have 5 on the trot
At
home
home.
games coming up.
True.
Which means actually one loss, listen, is going to happen. It's sport. I do not want a case where like India, you win 10 matches and then, Anyway, let's really
You are having
better.
2 potential losses more.
No, listen,
Because you are facing MI in 2 of them.
so you have 5 games at home, 5 on the trot. Win 3 or 4 of those, and you're pretty much sorted as far as playoffs is concerned. Yes, it's not nice to lose. I hate losing to CSK of all teams. I rest assured. But bigger picture, you have to look at.
You have a slightly better record against CSK than you have against MI, and you don't hate losing to them.
No, I hate with MI at this point it's numb. हो गया कोई बात नहीं.
But also, with only 1 loss, we cannot overreact.
Yeah, exactly. You take the L and move on.
Yeah, there was a hat trick of wins, and it was fine. It was a tough day at office.
You take the L and move on. That's how sport works. I've supported enough sport teams over the years. You know that listen, there are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days. You take it and move on as a youngster.
And I think, KKR needed this loss for fans like Saranshu sitting next to me, because before the game started, he was saying, I think KKR is playing the final. I think SRH will play with them. So he was already there. He was already there. It happens.
I was asking all of you.
It happens because you had predicted KKR SRH, because what happens is this 3-4 good games.
Correct.
And our fans get carried away. And for the sake of KKR fans, they needed this to bring them back to reality.
Leave that aside. You need wins to show you where it is you're still being flawed. Where it is that you can plan better, because it's still early days in the tournament. You've got, as KKR, you've got 8 games still to 8 games out. You've got 10 games still to go. You know, in those 10 games a lot can happen. Certain things have worked for you. Maybe certain things aren't working. You tweak that. They have had good games. You'll take a bad game here or there. That is the nature of sport. Again, you're not going to win all 14 games, make it to the playoffs, then win 2 more games. Never going to happen.
Okay, Love Current Tour with the most difficult question for the night. Tips to PBKs to grow their fan base on social media.
Win.
Yeah, but
I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they do. So that's how they do a very good job on social media, like most teams do. I think all teams do a very good job. But the few things that your fan base on social media will increase on 2 things. One is the most obvious, as Shane points out. If you do win a title or 2, you automatically will draw more fans to you, irrespective of which area you come from. So don't think that Mumbai fans are just based in Mumbai or Kolkata. I mean, here you've got 2 Delhiites, effectively backing KKR. Because of various reasons. But the one thing that PBKs needs to do, and what they've not done, is really back their legends. They've had some very big names, they never backed them, and you need to know that personalities, at least initially, drive a team. So they did get the Yuvraj Singhs of the world, the Virendra Sehwags of the world, but never were consistent with them.
I mean, it's pretty telling. So you finish your point, then I'll carry.
There are a lot of fans that I know that did get attracted to these teams, but then the way they treated those legends, they just pulled out. So you have to be a bit consistent. You have to just carry on. You have to be with those big stars, those famous players, and then build a franchise. Doesn't matter you win or not. For example, Rajasthan, I know they won the first season, but then their backing of youngsters, having the same culture, all of that went a long way. I think Punjab didn't do that.
And you don't have a very prominent face on a consistent basis.
That's the point. It's pretty telling that of all franchises to have ever existed in a long time in the IPL, only Punjab King don't have a single player who's played 100 games for them. Because they keep churning through players. How do you get that identity? Even ask any fans, even non-title winning fans, if you're talking about an RR who won 1, or teams that are an RCB. Best example. They're bad at building teams, but I'll be damned if they don't have good personalities around who the few they build. Those fan bases sustain. A lot of people were fans of RCB because they were fans of AB or fans of Gale or Virat.
And Punjab had, I tell you, massive draws like
Maxwell,
Yuvraj Singh, Maxwell, Virendra Sehwag, Gale. So like these players.
Brett Lee played.
Maaf karo.
Adam Gilchrist.
Or
Gilly was the captain once.
David Miller, that freak of a season. Miller was
dangerous territory.
George Bailey, the captain. When they went to
2014.
George Bailey, 2014. KKR only made them.
Never back then.
4 times, all 4 times.
So Vishal is saying, except Virat to open in World Cup after this performance. A question is asking.
No.
I don't think that. I think he'll still be number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3. Mr. Shekhar GTN.
And doesn't matter how much criticism comes his way after the knock yesterday, was it?
Yes.
I mean, he will most likely make that trip to.
He is your number 3.
Of course.
You're 100% sure.
Rohit and Virat are definitely making. Rohit is opening. Virat is your number 3.
Rohit's opening. Virat's number 3.
And Jaiswal or Shubman.
Shubman probably at this rate.
Yeah. Mr. Shekhar GTN. Sad part is that the only great achievement we have in WT20 past is the MCG encounter. Even in that, the only thorn for Pakistan every time has been VK alone.
Valid point.
Very valid point. Yes. Freakish.
Can't disagree with that.
Yep. Indeed.
On that note, shall we take a couple more? Okay. Varun Parvataneni says it could be MSD taking break after this match and hence MSD came out to bat today for the home fans.
That means, is he going to take a break for the El Clasico?
What?
MICSK, yaar. No, I don't think so. He just pandered to the gallery today, that's what.
Okay, Saurabh Mukherjee says CSK management turned IPL to mere test pitch. Perhaps this is why they were given tough opponents on the platter by BCCI to reach players. Still panel thinking conspiracy.
That's not conspiracy theories. All fans, all teams will build pitches or build teams around the strength of those pitches. There's nothing we were criticizing.
That's why there are home and away games. That's a home team advantage. Home advantage is
Correct.
same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except DC and RCB.
On that note, we're going to wind up. But since Harshad has slept most of the time, last 2 minutes to him, give him the mic. I'm going to give you the mic. Say whatever you want to say.
It's fine.
Arey, you have to say. This 2 minutes is your way. Otherwise, we'll keep sitting quietly. You can pick a question or you can come up with anything. Tomorrow's match, Delhi Capital, or just the food that you have eaten. Whether you've had any health issues, anything you can talk about. 2 minutes.
Health issues, if I start, then it's going to be a problem. I'll need more than 2 minutes in that. But yeah, we come to an end of what's been one side.
No. You take a question or
we'll
speak on any
We'll
subject.
take a couple of more. Is that?
Or you want to speak on any subject that you've been dying to speak on?
No, nothing.
Anything in the IPL?
I've had good freedom of expression on this.
Okay, you can answer that. Ek jagah.
Prakash Jha.
There's a question on WrestleMania though, but I think more than that, I can just read out the question because Siddharth, Shane, and Saransh will have more opinion on that. But you guys did watch. I think Shane definitely did watch WrestleMania.
You have to answer, so don't take a question that they have to answer.
Which one do we
Anyone.
go? We'll go with.
There's Dhaval Kumar's question. There is
Prakash
Piyush Nandre's question.
Okay, we'll go with Piyush Nandre.
Sarat
He says.
Yala
Piyush
Marthi's
Nandre we've
question.
taken.
Okay, Piyush's we've taken.
Sarat Yala Marthi.
Yala Marthi. We'll go with Yala Marthi's question. He says, Nick sir, Dhoni is the Undertaker of cricket. He never retires. If retires, he comes again and again.
So that's a statement.
There is only one Undertaker. That is
The only WrestleMania reference.
All WrestleMania.
Undertaker
No.
returned today as well.
But I think the only Undertaker I can think of in cricket is Glenn Maxwell.
Okay,
Remember the
GGK has
Mumbai
a-
knock?
The Mumbai knock. Yes, of course.
GGK.
Where's GG? GGK says Sid Virat can slow down in tricky chases for 100 in chase in home, which is the ODI World Cup. He's saying then this also is right. Player worship is pulling cricket down.
The irony of GGK saying that, I tell you. Jesus.
By the way, there's an interesting comment there.
Okay.
Go up. Where were we? There was a
GGK.
comment.
No, we took
which
that.
said that Ashish Dhar, okay, where he says maybe we have seen MS for the last time at Chepauk. That's why he came out to bat, because MS is
If he
unpredictable.
retires in the middle
By
of
the way,
no,
last time in Chepauk, how many games do they have to go?
They have another 4 games to go. I mean, how many? They have played
See, they played
right?
three.
No.
5 more.
4 games to go.
4 more.
Never know. Never, because there was this talk that he may not play all games.
Yeah.
And if he has a feeling, let's say if that injury is troubling him, where he has a feeling that okay, he may have to take another break for a few games, and so this could have been that last time. You never say never with MS.
The old habit of retiring
Yeah, I'm not saying
quietly.
last time he's played the IPL game. Maybe some of those games may be away games.
Last time in
You still have 3-4 games left at Chepauk.
Unless see, because that again very interesting, because we spoke about that not going for that catch. If he has some sort of discomfort, and I'm not saying he has the answer to it today, but if he feels that this could be something that could put me out for a few games, maybe this was the last time I can be here. Could be touch and go. Ashish Dhar, I think, makes a point. It's an interesting point. There could have been a reason. If he has that doubt in his, you will not see. For example, I give you that 2019 World Cup. None of us knew, because the game was so important, that semi-final. But now we know, based on interviews of his players, he had told them before going to the ground that day. I don't know if you've read that. Before going to the ground that day, he had said that this is the last time I'm going by the team bus. So he had said that he wanted to be in time, sit in the team bus and go for that semi-final, because he knew that's the last time could be the last, because could be the last game to make the final. But he knew that this is the last tournament.
Anyway, see.
So in his mind, he knew, he never announces it. What if he feels that this injury could put him out for a few games? There's nobody who can put a exact number to it. put him out for a few games. That could mean he may come back for a game, may not come back for a game, and that's why he's thought go. Don't say
the habit
never
of him,
say never.
The habit of him walking
Good
away
point,
quietly.
Ashish Dar.
Yeah, habit of walking away quietly. It might not be, but we'll have to wait and see.
If Chennai Super Kings finish in the top 2, then there is one more game in the knockouts for them, which is qualified 2.
And final is also in the
final
Super.
also-
But if they make the final,
See, but
that
those
is-
are again like under that
Out of control.
out of
2019
control.
World Cup also.
Yeah. But they do.
Could have reached the final.
See,
I think in his heart
it's
knew.
too soon.
Is the injury that severe?
Might be.
I don't know. Or even if it's not severe, let's say even if he feels that okay, it could put him out for a few games. You see, this is not an answer he'll have right now. No?
Yeah.
I'm saying it's happened. He's come back. He's feeling a bit of pain, and he knows that this is something that's troubled him. So could have been that I don't know whether I come back. Let's go play this. Let's give the crowd something to cheer. What if I do not come back?
Because I
to
think
play?
now for 8 days they don't play in Chepauk.
Possible.
They will play now in Mumbai, Wankhede. So let's see. I have
Who
to check
knows?
the schedule.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, this is a point we can hold on to.
Varun Parvattareni's comment is, he said Harshit is not talking because he's worried about DC being wooden spoon.
Of course
he's
he is.
not worried.
He's resigned to the fact.
No. They can finish 5th, 6th, 4th, 3rd.
Don't worry. RCB is giving
No,
you
doesn't
competition.
matter.
Don't worry. They will give you competition for wooden spoon. Don't worry.
Closing comments, Harshji?
Anybody
Closing
wants
comments.
to say
I'm
anything?
just seeing if we can take one more comment. Maybe not.
Shane is
Okay.
accusing you of blasphemy.
You can't. Can I be blasphemous if I follow that faith? Let's take the question. Let's take the.
You can, yeah.
Taking
Don't
your
go down
side.
that.
Aki's taking his side. He said it's an expression.
Yeah, it is an expression. People
very-
use Jesus Christ as expressions all the time.
True.
And would you want to tell him you are a
Practicing, well, not practicing.
good Christian?
Well, I did fast on Good Friday.
To answer your question, Pradeep said as super chat. It's definitely not.
Ah,
Definitely not nearby.
I like the choice of word. Good one, Pradeep Srivalsan.
Definitely not.
Yep.
Definitely not.
When
No, we hope so too. Come on.
when Danny Morrison asked that question,
Then
definitely
he asked,
not.
Ian Bishop asked, Ravi Shastri asked, every
Harsha, as
Harsha
always. Yes.
You are gonna, if Chennai reaches the playoffs, you're gonna see him at Chepauk.
Okay.
You have no doubts, right? That definitely reaching. No?
Looking at the form they're in,
The
they are.
fairy tale ending is such. The final is at Chepauk.
Although
CSK reaching a final.
my good
MS
friend and CSK superfan Hari Saravanan will not want to be in that situation if MS Dhoni plays his last game in the final at Chepauk.
500th time I'm hearing that story.
Yeah.
He will not be able to
It's
go
okay.
on his
No, there's a reason we call him Fufaji. They also have the same stories which they recycle
I know.
over and over.
But because the schedule is such.
No, so that's
and at
Dadaji.
Chepauk, every Dhoni fan or a CSK fan would want a fairy tale ending. Dhoni.
No, you would want it, but
I mean,
will
isn't
not happen
isn't
or
that the
not,
ultimate
we'll have
high,
to
Shane, that
wait
you're
and see.
talking about? The ultimate high. Dhoni in the final comes out, 3 runs to win of the last over. He hits a six title for CSK.
Then
That's
and
it.
Ravi Shastri on commentary.
Yes.
Oh, Dhoni finished Rahman style. True.
okay. Bye bye. Enough for tonight.
Yes.
Nandri, Shubhratri.
Even Harshit
Shabbat
has
hai.
spoken.
Namaste. Good night.
Bye bye.
veggies.
Eat your vegetables and don't trouble your mother.
Well, you don't need to be telling people to eat their vegetables. It's Navratras.
Yes.
They'll all only be eating their vegetables.
Absolutely.
Faiths, nah. Those who don't want to follow won't follow.
No, people of the faith also don't follow.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone.
Yes, the person who's giving the example only is one.
So then that's it.
Do whatever you want.
Don't trouble your
Be
mother.
like Shastri.
But don't trouble your mind.
Yeah, don't
Don't say
trouble
be
your
like Shashwat, please.
Like Shastri.
Oh. I heard Shashwat and I'm like, why are you giving that example?
Use whatever you want to use. Have a blast.
Shashwat, I hope you're not watching
Do
this.
whatever you want.
Knowing Shashwat, the 110% is. Hi, Shashwat.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.